guys, so how are you? So today we are solving this problem, divide players into teams of equal skills. Okay, so let's read the question. So you are given a positive integer array skills of even length n, where skill I denotes the skill of the ith player. Okay, so like this is an skill array and these are the skill of any player, right? Okay, so divide the players into n by 2 teams of size 2 such that total skill of each team is equal. So what is happening over here is that first of all the length of this array is even, so definitely we can divide them into the group of 2 teams, right? I mean the group of 2 members team. So basically there would be total n by 2 teams, right? So n by 2 teams and the skill sum. Okay, so the skill sum should be same. Okay, so this is what we have to do so far. Now let's read further. So the chemistry of a team is equal to the product of the skills of the each player. Okay, for example 1 and 5, this is one of the team. Okay, so 5 into 1, this is the chemistry of this particular team. So basically the multiplication of the skills of the players in a team is actually called the chemistry. So return the sum of the chemistry of all the teams. So first of all we have to make the n by 2 teams and the sum of all the skills should be same, and then we have to find the total chemistry of them. So for example, see here, this is our array and so they are what they have made, it's like 1 5 2 4 3 3. So sum of all these teams is equal to 6 only. So they divided it and then they found the chemistry, total chemistry of it. So 1 into 5 plus 2 into 4 plus 3 into 3. So basically the sum of the multiplication of the every team's skill is actually called the chemistry. So this is what we have to return. So let's take this example, then we will explain what would be my approach. So guys, as we know that we have to break this into the group of 2 values. These values could be anywhere, like here one is value is 3 3, then we have 2 and 4, then we have 5 and 1. So how to know that what would be the sum of every team? Okay, what would be the skill sum? So what we can do is basically first of all we will get the sum of all these numbers and we'll divide that by the n by 2, because we are making total n by 2 teams. So we will get the per team capacity, okay, per team skills. So we can simply do that, that's the sum of all the numbers, okay, sum of all the numbers in the array and divide by the n by 2, where n is the size of this array. Okay, so for example in this question what we can do is, let's say get the sum of it. So 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 5 10, so it would be 18. Okay, 18 would be the sum of all these numbers and n is here 6. So 6 divided by 2 would be 3. So 3, so 18 divided by 3, so 6. So now we will come to know that 6 would be the capacity of every teams that we gonna divide. So we got first of all the skill sum of every team. Now we have to find what all those numbers which are making this team. So we have to check whether is it possible or not. This we found that this should be the skill of every team. Now we have to check, can we make all those combination? So guys, to solve this problem we can have 3 approach. Okay, so let's talk about first of all sort array. So what happens is, if we sort this array, it would looks like this, right? And then what we will do, we will start picking one number from the first and one number from the end. So this will give 5 plus 1, so 6, right? So 6 is our value. Then we will come here 2 and 4, right? Then we will have this 3, right? So then we will pick these 3 guys, right? So this is one approach, but the problem is sorting an array would take n log n. Okay, but we want to do in O of n, right? So how to do that? So one more way is like you guys know about the counting sort. So basically when numbers are not very huge, because in the question it is given that the numbers would be, or the condition are that skill I would go only up to 1000. See here, okay. So in this case what we can do is basically we can even go for counting sort, which takes the O of n. Okay, counting sort. If you guys don't know about the counting sort, there is a link in the comment box, you can, in the description box, so you can read about that. So this is also an approach. We can do sorting using the counting sort and then we can do. So in this way we would be able to do it in O of n. There is one more way, second. So that is way to store the frequency of every skills. Okay, So we will store the frequency of these skills maybe in map, or we can also store in an array, because the numbers are only up to thousands. So in this way, what we will do, first of all we will store the frequencies, then we will again traverse through this array, and as we know that team sum would be this, right? So we will get this difference between every number and we'll check whether this guy is present in this frequency or not. So these are three approach, but this is take n log n. This is a counting sort which takes some great extra space, but these two would be taking the same time complexity. Either we use the counting sort or we can use the store frequency, but for the simplicity, sake of the simplicity, I am taking this store frequency. Okay, so how it would work, let me explain with one example. So as what I am doing here, I have just created one array of size 1001, because we are starting from 0 and we have to have the index till 1000. Okay, so just this is a frequency array. Now what we will do is I will traverse through this skill. Okay, so this is 3, right? So we will go to directly 3. Okay, first index is first value is 3, right? We'll go to 3 and increase by 1. So initially it is 0, so this will become 1. Now we'll go to this guy 2. So initially 2 is 0, so this will increase by 1. Then we have 5. So we will go to directly 5 index here and increase this value by 1. Then it is 1. We will go to index 1 and increase this value by 1. So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. Now we will come into 3. So we will go to 3. So increase the value by 1. So it is already 1. So 1 plus 1. This will become now 2. Okay, so I just made it 2. Then we have final value, it is 4. So we'll go to the index 4. We'll increase this 0 plus 1. So it will become 1. So now we have recorded the frequency of all of them. Right? We already calculated what would be the total capacity of every per team skills, right? This is 6. So guys, now we will go ahead for the calculation of the capacity and validation of entire thing. So we are again starting from this skill array. Okay, so first value is 3, right? So first value here, it is this also 3. And what would be the corresponding partner? Corresponding partner would be 6 minus 3. So this guy also would be 3. So this should be the partner. We'll check whether this partner value, so 3 in this frequency array, does it has the value greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0, which is 2. So this is a valid one. Now we have to decrease this by 1. So instead of 2, this will become now 1. Okay, so I am cutting down it. So 1 now, new value. So what would be the chemistry here? 3 into 3. It would be 9 as of now. Okay. Now we'll go to the next value. Next value is 2 in this array. So this partner is 2. So yeah, first value is 2. So what would be the partner? Partner would be 6 minus 2. This would be 4. Right? We will check for this guy 4. Does this 4 has frequency greater than 0? Yeah, here it is 4 and frequency is basically it is 1, which is greater than 0. So this is a valid thing. So now we have to decrease this frequency by 1, which is new value would become 0. And what is the capacity here? 4 into 2, it is 8. So 9 plus 8, right? So I will make it 9 plus 8. Okay. Now I will go to the next value. What is the next value in this array? Next value is 5, right? So we'll come to this 5. First value is 5. So what is the second partner? 6 minus 5, it is 1, right? So we'll check what is the frequency of 1. So see here, frequency of 1 is basically greater than 1. So we have to decrease it by 1. So it would become now 0, right? So we are fine till here. So what would be the capacity? 5 into 1. So this would be our capacity would be 5 here. Okay. Now we are coming to this guy 1. Okay. So we'll check here. So our new partner, what it came? It is basically 1, right? So we are at 1. Okay. So this guy is now 1. So what would be the corresponding partner? 6 minus 1. It would be 5. So we'll check with whether 5 is greater than 1. Yes, it is greater than 1. So now we will decrease it by 1. So new value would become 0. And what would be the capacity? 5 into 1. Okay. So this would be another plus 5. Okay. Now we are coming to the next value, which is 3. So this is 3 and 6 minus 3, it would be 3 basically. So partner value would be 3, right? So is it 3 is greater than 1? Yes, it is greater than 0, greater than 0. So yeah, it is greater than 0. So now we'll decrease this guy by 1. So this will become now 0. Okay, this became now 0 and 3 into 3. So it would be plus 9 in capacity. We are adding this. Now we'll go to the final guy. It is 4, right? So what would be the corresponding partner? 6 minus 4. So this guy would be 2. Now we'll check for the frequency of this guy 2. So is it greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. Basically it is 1. So we will decrease it by 1. Now new value would become 0. So 4 into 2, this would be plus 8, right? So this final, what is the total chemistry value? Total chemistry value is becoming our this is, so it is basically 44, right? So we will keep it as 44, but as you guys know, this is happening every 2 times, right? So we have to find the frequency of every time we are making it, right? So this would be 44 divided by 2, right? Because you guys can see here, when 5 came, we calculated with corresponding 1, and when 1 came, we calculated it corresponding 5. So for single team, we have to take only 1 times, right? So this is, we have to divide, so it is becoming 22. So this should be our answer. So whatever capacity divided by 2 would be our answer. Now guys, you can observe one thing. So whenever a value coming, we were correspondingly getting its partner by making 6 minus this value. Like in this case 6 minus 4, we got 2. Then we were checking that is there corresponding 2 is available in the frequency array. So if frequency was greater than 0, that means we are going good. But whenever we find a situation that corresponding partner's frequency is equal to 0, that means there is no more such value which can form a team. Okay, so in that case we have to stop it and we have to return -1 in those situations. Okay, so this is one good example of it. Let's say we had we can add here itself something which will make the frequency. Let's say 4 came 2 times, right? So in that case, what it would happen, when we will come to this 4, there would be no corresponding 2 here. So it would have been given us the value 2 here, 0. So in that case, we could say that return -1 immediately. Otherwise, when we are coming out of this for loop, we have to return whatever capacity divided by 2. Okay, so let me show you my corresponding code for it. See, this is my code. So first of all, what I am doing, I just created one skill frequency of 1001. Why 1001? Because we are having 0 till 1000. So for that reason, we have to take it 1001. Okay, so see here, what I am doing, I am just increasing the frequency of all those whatever values are there in this skill, and at the same time, in same for loop, I am also calculating the total sum of the values in the array. Now see here at this location, what I am doing, I am checking whether the total percent whatever length divided by 2 is not 0. Okay, so is not 0, that means it is giving some odd number which cannot be equally divided, right? So in that case, I am returning directly -1. Okay, otherwise what we are doing here, I am just doing total divided by length by 2, which will give me the per team skills, just like we calculated here this thing, right? We calculated 6 in our case. See here, we calculated this 6, right? So for the same reason I was doing that. Okay, so after getting teams per team skills, I am making this chemistry. This is long type because these values can go very large, and also the return type here is long only. Okay, now see here, now we are again traversing through our skill array, and see here I am getting the partner value, which is per team skill minus whatever value is s minus s. So we got it. Now here I am checking the frequency count of it. So skill frequency in partner val. Okay, so if it is equal to 0, that means we don't have a corresponding partner to form a valid team. Then we are directly returning -1. Otherwise, what we are doing, we are parking the chemistry equal to long s into partner value, right? We are just doing the multiplication, just like here we were doing. Okay, then here at this point, I am just decreasing the frequency by 1. Every time we were decreasing the frequency by 1. And finally, I am returning whatever chemistry value has. So chemistry divided by 2, which is basically our answer. So let me try to run my code. So I am running this code. Yeah, so this is accepted. Let me try to submit it. So I am submitting this code. Yeah, so this is 100% faster. So thank you for watching this video. And if you guys have any concern, please make a comment over there. Thank you.